Hi guys, so I'm here with baby Zoe and I know I'm doing a lot of videos like in my room because I've had a long exhausting weekend. Very positive weekend. Well, minus one little blooper, but I'm not gonna even discuss it on my channel because it's just too much. It's just overwhelming. But all is well with me and my family. And but I just wanted to I said I wasn't going to do a video on how I came into reborns, but I decided I wanted to talk about how I became so interested in the silicone babies versus, I mean, not versus, but when I was originally into um, the reborns. So, anyway, of course, I was collecting the reborns because I've always been a doll lover and I love, when once I found them, um, how realistic they look and all that great stuff. But then, of course, I was seeing the silicone babies, but I knew they just was, in my mind, they were just out of reach for me. There was no way that I would be able to afford a silicone baby, I thought. So, I would admire them and watch, other people channels and, or, look at like artists videos or pictures of their silicone babies. But I thought, wow, those things must be really, really feel like a new baby. Um, but I think what happened, in all honesty, when I was so much into my reborns, they kind of like ignite baby fever, like real baby fever in you, I think, to me. And it's kind of hard to explain. Like, I don't want another real baby per se. Um, I mean, the whole responsibility thing is kind of, anyway, it's just a big deal for me. Right at that point, it wasn't that I wanted another baby. It was just that, oh my God, it made you miss it so much. And it was like, you couldn't get much closer unless you had like a silicone baby in my mind, I thought. So I knew I couldn't afford it. And then I stumbled across Amy Strickland partial silicone babies, which was, is it Reborns for You or Reborn or something? Her and Righteous McCall, they had silicone babies from Amy Strickland. It was partial babies, and I was like, oh my gosh. And Reborn Days, I think it was. And I found out they were like only $700 or $750, and it's still that price actually. Um, and they looked so realistic to me. And I was like, even with that, I was like, oh my God, that's a lot of money. That was like so much money, right? For me. And I was like, gosh, but 700 is a lot cheaper than 3,000. So I sold like two of my reborns or something like that. And at that time I was selling them anyway because of maybe bonding issues or whatever. I can't remember exactly. But anyway, so I ordered the silicone baby, and it was a custom order, but I was afraid to go with the ethnic because people didn't always get the ethnic right. And so anyway, I got him, and when I got him, his name was Logan. And oh my gosh, when I opened up the box, I was like, so it really is like what everybody says, the squishy and the way it fell and the arms flopped and stuff. And it was like, oh my God. And then of course, it's always you always want that next level up. And I enjoyed, him and posing him and stuff. At first I was very scared to do anything with him. But then of course, I wanted the whole bathing experience, the whole necky with the, just the t-shirt and the tummy out and all that stuff that you can't do with the partials. So then I had to have a full body. But I think for me, trying not to put my hand over thing, but for me, I think the whole thing that kind of got me into the silicone babies was to me they were kind of like they were my babies that curved the appetite of the baby fever. Um, honestly, I think I don't know if I ever admitted that on camera before, but yeah, I they were definitely my little little my little crave desire for a real baby. So anyway, so I the full first full body silicone, believe it or not, that I was absolutely in love with was um Lorna Miller Sand babies. I think that was the first silicone baby I started looking at, and then Thistleberry. I thought that she was freaking amazing. I didn't realize that that was the same as Sylvia Manning, I think. Um, but anyway, I always watched Lorna Miller Sands. I signed up on her mailing list. I had emailed her a few times, and I didn't know much about silicones or nothing, and that's who I really, really like adored and everything. So anyway, I end up with a Boo Boo Baby by Lorna Miller Sands, and I just went from one extreme to the next, and with Lorna Miller Sands, um, I wasn't excited with how they were proportioned. I didn't think that they were well proportioned. The head was just too big for me. I know some people like the extremely big heads, but my baby's head, I did have my son's head was very big, but it wasn't where he looked like he had a 2-year-old head on a infant body. And not to talk about not talking about her work because I still like her sculpting, but I just that wasn't just me, and so that's how I ended up doing a short layaway with Roz Bailey, and I ended up with the Roz Bailey babies. Now I knew that Roz Bailey was new and her sculpting wasn't as advanced as the other artists, and just overall she just wasn't like the other artists. She was very new, still learning, but her babies were very affordable. But I fell in love with the feel of her babies, and I fell in love with at that time her customer service, and how she sent them home with all this stuff and everything. So I did enjoy her babies, but of course I would see other silicone babies that was even more advanced, and then my thing is that I didn't want to spend the money that it costs for these super duper realistic babies, because for me originally the silicone babies were more about the feel and to be able to dress them in anything versus oh, they gotta look like a breathing baby. And not to say that her babies don't look realistic, because there she has some sculpts that does look very, very realistic. And but I'm just saying that compared to what's out here now, um, I knew that at that cost, I mean, that's what I was gonna that I wasn't gonna get everything. Like, I mean, my big deal is hands and feet. So but you continue to want more and more and more, and then so I just kept going. So anyway, that's I just kept going and trying to find the perfect silicone baby for me. Silicone baby searching is just so hard. It's so hard, and it's so expensive, and you just can lose so much money till it's just almost sickening. if I was someone, like if I was to start over today, knowing what I know, I would never rush into a silicone doll purchase. I would never settle for something that I like. Okay, I know what my major things that I really, really love and want in a silicone baby now. The feel thing, you kind of just can't know. That's just, unfortunately, that is just something you you can't know until you get it. I mean, they can tell you and try to describe it, and it's just, you just can't know unless you've had that artist work in person. But I learned, about under the arms, looking for those things. I learned that I like a baby to flow like a baby. I don't like the extreme gap legs, even though I know that babies do be in that position, but I don't like it for me because I like my babies in sleepers and stuff, and I find it very hard to put a baby in a sleeper like that. And you know, even though her legs are out, they're in a very natural baby pose. I don't know. It's hard to explain. When they take off their diaper, I like it to look very natural and stuff. I don't know. But anyway, I know what I like now, and it's there were things like, for instance, I have to use Journey as an example. I absolutely adored the painting on that sculpt, from pictures and everything. And even once I got her in person, I loved her body, the way her body was painted. And of course, she was poured by Claire Taylor, and so she actually did have the wrinkle skin. She wasn't the Claire Taylor mix though, because I guess that's Claire Taylor's specialty, and it's reserved just for her babies, her own babies that she sculpted she makes. But she was Equiflex 20, so she was very soft, very flexible. But there were things that I knew right away that, when I saw it, that I'm not too crazy about that, but I think I can get around it and all that and stuff. And that's something we just shouldn't do, because when you're spending that kind of money and then when you get it, it's like that is going to be the one thing that drives you nuts and insane the whole time. And then you're like, gosh. And then when you see other babies that have these things or don't have these things that you like or don't like or whatever, it's going to eat at you. And eventually when you sell, you lose money. So yeah, so you live and you learn. But now, I see silicone babies, and just because I want another one, it kind of draws me to them. Like, I'm like, oh my gosh, I could, just go for that. But I am pretty determined that even if it's a Claire Taylor baby that comes out and it's the cheapest ever, if it's not an ethnic baby, in an ethnic skin tone, I won't go after it, because I want my next baby to be an ethnic baby from Claire Taylor, or who else that I like. Well, right now it's just Claire Taylor, or Rachel Farrell. I like her babies, but I really want another. I mean, not want. Well, I do want, if I ever were to get one, and I think I'm gonna save up for next year. I would want a ethnic Claire Taylor baby. And let me tell you, and I say this because I love details so much, and this video has went into a whole other area, but I love details so much, and I absolutely am thrilled that I got this particular skin tone first, and I'm actually thrilled that I do have her, and I do love her, and that she is like I said, she is like the color of what my babies were when they were born. They may have had a little bit more yellow in them, maybe, once they came home for a few days, but when they were first born, no, they were this color. So I absolutely love her color, but I don't want two of the same color from her. I want to see what her ethnic babies are like, too. So the only thing I can't decide is, I keep saying that I should get a sleeper, an ethnic sleeping baby from Claire Taylor, but um, I think I'm really drawn to the open eyes. I think they're more exciting to me because I've just realized that even with like Jamari, um, I find myself just wanting to look at Jamari. When I like to sit Jamari where I can see him, when he's in my room, I like he's like alert. I don't know, but then I love my sleepers too. But I think I don't know. It just feels like they're really awake and looking back. I don't know. I don't know. It just they just have personality when their eyes are open. But I like both. So I'm just not. I think whichever one I come across first, and it's at a time for me that I am financially able, is what I'll go for. I'm not gonna be picky on that part, but I am gonna be picky on who the artist is and the sculpt and stuff too, and the flow of the body. I'm just very big on the flow of the body. And when I first started collecting, I didn't think that I liked smaller babies. I wanted bigger babies, but I realized what it is for me is they can be bigger, but I just need them to have that true baby look, a natural baby look. I don't want, see, what happened is artists are artists and they capture moments and stages of babies. And I don't want them to capture, I don't want a baby that's in a like a still pose. I want a baby that's fluid, that's in that, like they're going to move, they're going to wiggle, or if that makes sense. Like some babies just look like they're just like stuck, like their hands are just stuck out like this, or, it's just like, or straight down, type deal like that, which is fine. I'd rather them down than up, but, which I love that I can actually do quite a bit of little things with her hands and stuff. So she's very posable to be a little full body with no armatures and everything. And I definitely love her jointed head, even though if I were ever to get a full body with the clear, just full neck and it's still bobble, I would definitely love that. I just don't like the fact that I can't turn their heads. So I like to lay babies on their tummies for pictures and stuff, and I couldn't really do that with my last one. So, or I just didn't know what I was doing, one or the other. So yeah, so it's all about preference. Some people prefer bigger babies. I think it's really cool to have a big silicone baby though, because you got a real big baby. Like, like with Journey, she felt real and she was big and fun to dress, and it was almost like having a toddler silicone baby almost. So it's pretty cool. Um, so yeah. Anyway, this is a very long video, and I'm just gonna see if I can get this uploaded for you guys today, and I will talk to you guys later. Let's see if I can get her where you guys can see her. She is just been chilling out in the bed with mommy, and maybe I'll come back and tell you guys all about my weekend. So talk to you guys later. Bye bye.